as always, you know, this is, although Sonia is going to be taking the workshop today, as with all of our workshop, this is a really safe space to play and create. You know, we always say leave that little inner critic at the door, and you know, no pressure, no judgment, and just joy. So we're all here today to play and have a good time and be with each other and create art. I'm excited.
And then, Katie, I think at this point we should just sort of say the ground rules with a big class like this is that when we get into introducing Sonia and doing the exercises that she's got for us, and the then we'll mute everybody, but you always have you know, you can always chat, and we'll be monitoring the chat and answering your questions. Like Donna will be doing that. And so, yeah, just so you know. And then we'll have various places where we'll take a break, so you've got a chance to ask questions to Sonia.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll be doing quite these demos will be quite long demos. Sonia will be talking, and you know, if you've got a specific question, like Caroline said, pop it in the chat, and we'll put it to her, or we'll unmute you, and you can ask it yourself. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Sonia, and so she can start chatting a little bit about her work.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, I'll just go through the aims for this workshop. It's actually a really good day, I think, to be inside, having fun and loosening up with the bad weather. So together we've chosen the subject of using loose floral still life with sort of Valentine's coming up. And I think it's a really sort of cheerful, fun way of exploring loosening up in your art with drawing and painting. So why I love it is because it's a real chance to play and explore all your different art materials. So hopefully you've got them all with you for this session. And I like to see, one of the best bits for me is to experiment with combining different materials that I wouldn't normally necessarily use, and just to see how they work alongside each other. And with this, you've got the chance to make it personal. And when I mean personal, you can, for example, use maybe vases or ceramics that have been passed down to you or have some significance to you. Again, in still life, people, you know, put skulls and objects that have meaning. So you can make it sort of a narrative piece, or just play with being decorative, explore design, sort of just limiting the piece to like I was just trying to show some simple, keep it really, for example, really simple. And it's a chance to really explore your own taste. And then, yeah, so why choose this subject? So it's allowed me to loosen up, it's happy, it's joyful. I really also like the fact that I can explore wonky lines and play around with composition. Some of the artists that are sort of famous that have inspired me are like Henri Matisse, Mary Fedden, Pierre Bonnard, and I don't know how to say the name. Is it Raoul Dufy?
Yeah, Raoul Dufy.
Raoul Dufy. There's also a lot on Instagram. I might feel free, just to say, we've only got 2 hours. Feel free to contact me on Instagram, because I can also that way forward some artists. For example, I think there's like Gabrielle Buckingham. There's a load of artists that you can find who are playing around in this genre, and it's really exciting. You can, as I've just said, you can play with personal objects, think about motifs, pattern. It's a chance also, because if anyone's like, you know, we don't want to hoard stuff, but you can still go on an imaginary shopping spree. And if you see items around, like when you're in anthropology, sometimes I like to take a photo, and then I use that as a reference when I'm back in, you know, at my desk. Also, one of the ideas I've had is, I mean, flowers can be significant. We get them for our birthdays. You think about your wedding bouquets. It's a chance to sort of, as it were, put them in, you know, flowers die and they're fragile, but it's a chance to have sort of a record of them, but one that you've created. And the other thing that I love to do is at home, it's sort of a domestic scene, isn't it? But it's a domestic scene that doesn't get messed up afterwards. You get to create your own spread. No one's going to come and don't have to like do the washing up afterwards. So basically, I love the fact I'm in control. And today you will be hopefully in control as well.
Oh, that's cool.
And these are some just examples. Thank you, Katie did this lovely Canva
I
slide.
love this one. I love this one with the cat. I love it. It's just
Yeah,
like,
Mary Fedden does great. I've only recently found her, but I really just like her composition and the wonky again. The perspective isn't quite. I
yeah,
like that. It's just super creative, like how she's combined all the pattern.
yeah, and the
Got that
cat
piece.
isn't obviously in perspective, but it's like it's so
Yeah,
love it. And defect, yeah, this is just
lovely loose. Yeah, again, really, it's a chance to work fast and yeah, be expressive, both in colour and line. Here, I think it's a good demonstration. And of course, I think we all know that yeah, obviously that's a big inspiration. I love
yeah,
how
it kind of encompasses everything, doesn't it? Like the pattern, the line, the
yeah,
color.
the colour. I like his choice of colour. I like that pink and the red and mixing up. I'll demonstrate yeah some how I sort of
How you
how
do
I like to play around as well with colour.
amazing. And I think Caroline, you wanted to chat a little bit about.
Well, I really felt like when we were talking about this that we should include Dave Hockney. He's one of my big inspirations from when I was in art college in Brittain, way back, too far away for you to remember. But he always loved to paint flowers. So throughout his career, he's been painting flowers in different materials, etc. But you can see it's the same artist. So again, I think here you've got this sort of wonkiness going, you know what I mean? Which is something that very much you were talking about with the amaryllis, which is 84. And then I wanted to include he's got tons of them since 2008. So he actually discovered his went on a trip from LA to San Francisco. He had one of the iPhones at the time, and there was a very early app that you could use. And so he started playing with it and started painting flowers and went, oh my God, this is so fun. And he'd do a flower every morning and send it to all his friends. So it's a great idea to why only give flowers at Valentine's? Why not paint a flower and send it? There's many people who are suffering in many ways and we want to express ourselves to them. Just send them a flower, send them something you did.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then this is just a little page on, I mean, there's a huge history of floral still life. We just wanted to give a few kind of more modern examples. And you can see the different styles and the range of kind of ways of composition, etc. You've got the wonderful Georgia O'Keeffe, Andy Warhol, and I love those drawings at the bottom by Louise Bourgeois. Just really interesting kind of patterns and the way that she's kind of taken apart the flowers and really kind of looked at them with different patterns and textures. It's really cool. And obviously Van Gogh as well. Yeah, so now we're going to go over to Sonia.
Cool. And so yeah, today we're going to play hopefully with a lot of different supplies. This is a photo of my desk and some of them I've got them arranged around me, so I'll be sharing. I'll do a little talk and we're going to start. This is a chance for you also to join in with me. I'm going to try and make the demonstration interactive so that do sort of grab your materials and join in. So is it going to be on my over?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna take this one off and put this one on.
Okay. Oh, brilliant, lovely. So yeah, I've got some work to show you as well to give you some more ideas. We can go through this pile in a bit, but here's a chance we're going to get interactive straight away. So I invite you to grab, if you've got any blank paper, we can prepare a sheet right now together. I want to show you how this has really changed my work, being able to, so you've got a blank piece of paper, grab that. And what we're going to do is what I like to do. This is one I've made beforehand. And what I like to do is if you've got leftover paint, so I use cheap acrylic and I put some water in here because it's running out, so I can make it go even further. I like to use up supplies as much as possible. So we're going to quickly paint a piece of paper if you've all got some. You could also use watercolor. But I'm just going to show you how quick it is. So I'm just literally going to pour. It's not coming out.
Gorgeous colour.
Water it down. And then what I like to use for this is if you've got like big brushes or cheap, just use cheap brushes, and you're just going to cover page.
Can you say something about the paper you're using, Sonia?
Oh, sorry, yeah. So this is a watercolor paper. It's cheap watercolor paper. It's like this is a thicker watercolor paper. But to be honest with you, if you're going to use acrylic paint like this, you can just use under here, this big sheet of paper is from Blix, and it's just drawing paper. And I think it's very reasonable. I got 100 sheets, but it wasn't too much. It's not at all expensive. And
No,
that will take wash and also acrylic. So this piece of paper, let's put it to dry and we'll see if it. So the reason I like to do this is I feel it helps you work much quicker when you're making your loose still lifes, because you've already got that block color. Before I did this, I used to draw and then I'd have to paint around. I don't know if anyone else has done this, but that you end up painting around, you decide you want a background and you end up having to sort of, it's a bit more laborious, and it just interfered with me being loose and spontaneous. So we can put that to one side. Now we have to like leave it to dry and see if it does dry in like 40 minutes or and then I'm going to show you some of the materials I use for collage, because I thought this might be quite interesting. So what I like to do is can you see? This is just also to talk about inspiration. I like to keep, this is an old Designers Guild from London, a cushion cover. And so you can use your own materials as inspiration as well. Like I like the colour combinations, particularly here. This has inspired me a lot, this sort of mustard on this blue. Can you see
I love that.
And then this is for collage material, collage fodder, I think they call it. This looks like a hoard. I did got a bit too much stuff. But when I find bits of paper, for example, I'm red packet, I'm half Chinese. And so I try to keep like cards you can keep if you've been given cards. And just rip it off. Because this could be used to cut out, and I'll show you. We can cut out together shapes to make vases, bowls to add into our still life. But you can keep all sorts of stuff. And the other thing, for any of you who've got children or grandchildren, I like to also keep the kids' drawings, because these can come into pieces as well. Like this could be, I could have a vase, paint over it. So it's a way of incorporating sort of sentimental materials that I've kept, and even like bits of, we're going to draw, if you've got any, this is from a, when you go shopping, from a paper bag. But yeah, just to show you, this is how I keep it. I mean, my rule to myself, because I don't want to be hoarding, is once I have to use what's in this box. For example, I quite like, I made this ahead of time, so I might keep that out.
Nice.
That's some showing you my materials. And then I think the best thing, I did write a list for loose drawing. Okay, my tips for loosening up are basically, I find that using, for example, I have a box of oil pastels. I feel like the chunkier and the blunter the instrument, it's hard, I think it's very hard to go very tight and botanical when you're drawing with something that's sort of big and chunky. So I like to use even, for example, so nothing gets wasted. These are like little oil pastels, and I keep them, and I can still even draw or make marks with these. And then pencils, I'm going to draw, I don't know if anybody's got these, but these are rainbow pencils, Koinab. I love these. I'll just show you. They're chunky, and then you can't control, you have less control over the colours that come out. So you've got like several colours within one. These are actually also good for portraits. I like drawing more realistically with these pencils as well, but they're a handy art supply. If you've got any, don't know if any of you guys have brought pastel sticks. This is actually an Inktense, but again, I mean, I'll definitely work through some flower shapes, but I find it's going to be really hard to get too detailed with something that's chunky and broad tipped. I think the problem is if I went to fine liners, I could get caught up in the detail of the flower too much. So that's some materials. And I've got this, yeah, I just have to, this is a bit wobbly, sorry.
Okay, don't
I've
worry.
got water, I don't know if you've all got some paints. Paint wise today, I think I'll be using, I've got Japanese watercolours, which I really like. They're quite reasonably priced actually for watercolours. This is a nice set of Kuretake Japanese watercolours, and I like the fact that these are big palettes.
Yes.
So I will show you where you can get in and you can really swish your brush around. So you can even make background colour.
What was that make?
Is it? I don't know who's playing. Is it Gamsai?
Okay.
Gamsai Kuret. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. That's okay. Kuret. I'm not pronouncing this. I'm going to really.
No, that's okay. I think we can see it. I can find it and then I'll put it in the chat.
But this is these are really great because they're also the difference with Japanese, I think, and normal watercolors is they're kind of very super saturated, almost a little bit opaque. And someone on YouTube apparently they're quite light fast as well. I mean, I don't know the technical, you know, the constituents, but apparently they are of good quality and fairly light fast. And then the other thing that I love, they're a little bit more, I think Caroline might have talked in, maybe used them in another workshop. You've used these, haven't you, Caroline?
What's that
The
one?
Neocolour.
Oh yeah, we use those a lot.
Yeah, these, oh my gosh, these are so, when I found these, because when we lived in Switzerland, I found them because they were relatively cheap out there, but obviously, so you probably all know about these. But yeah.
They're really expensive here, I guess.
Yes, they are. But I actually think that, but they're so versatile, and the pigment quality is, you know, I just feel for
Really good.
drawing, and they're water soluble as well. So I use those a lot. They're great for going on top of gouache and acrylic. Though I did learn off another YouTube video. The only problem is once you lay these down, I think it's harder to go on top of these crayons.
Because it's got a lot of wax and oil in it.
Yeah. So they're kind of a last layer, but they are brilliant. And again, someone told me on YouTube, apparently, on the comments, they said, because I was saying I don't know, these apparently quite light fast as well, so you can use them in final pieces.
Yes.
And then whatever acrylics you've got, I do love, I have to be honest, I love, and again, it's not cheap, but I do love acrylic gouache, which these I use a lot in my sketchbooks and even actually in portraits.
Yes.
So those are the materials. Post markers, feel free to use markers. Posca obviously work well as well in this sort of work. And then today I thought I could demonstrate as well. We can try drawing for loose drawing, but drawing with a brush. Like if you've got ink or acrylic ink, it's great to loosen up. We'll do that in a moment. Using our scissors to cut out shapes. Blind contour, I guess you've also maybe done this as an exercise, but for example, just looking and then not looking at the paper, but just drawing from the image. And my favourite, one of my favourite things you might want to have to think about is I like to look at my image or my reference, but then I'm going to try and draw it from memory, because then I can't get too bogged down in the detail because I can't remember the detail. I really am going to be going back to basics. So those are just some tips for if you want to loosen up. And then I'm going to quickly...
Sonia, we have a question about the Caran d'Ache.
Yes.
Could you point those out and say what they are?
These ones?
Yes.
Okay, so these are Neocolour 2, and they are a type of crayon which are they're water soluble. So I can demonstrate that for you right now.
I can find a link and I'll put it into chat.
Okay, thank you.
So here you can see, look, they're beautiful, thick, opaque. They're not like kids' crayons. I mean, they are obviously, that's why they're much more expensive. You get a beautiful saturated colour, and then I'm going to come in with my brush. And then can you see? I actually tend to just use them for their drawing quality, and I actually do not use, I should use them more in the water soluble way, but then you could draw on top of them.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're a great if you can. I think you can get cheaper versions, to be honest, that people are making them now. I think isn't this also woody? A lot of people on YouTube using these Stabilo woody pencils.
Yes.
Have you
Yes,
heard of those?
I've heard of those as well. I haven't got any, so I haven't tested them.
Exactly, I don't have any, but I've heard of them. And you can actually, just to say, oh, be careful, because I once made the mistake of buying. There's also a version called Neo Color One that I think my husband bought me accidentally. And it turns out these ones are not water soluble, and I didn't know that.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
they are but they're wonderful crayons and can be used in mixed. These are all great materials for mixed media because you can just have fun playing about. And the other thing that I use a lot of is gouache paint, and I think Caroline also has. I think you've heard from Caroline about gouache paints, but I love gouache. That was the thing that I found first when I sort of returned to drawing and painting. And you can get all sorts of different quality. You can get Artesia relatively a bit cheaper, but I tend to use my favourites. If you want to know my favourites, they're actually a bit cheaper in the UK. They're more expensive here, but Windsor and Newton. They're just.
Or it's the designer.
Oh yeah, designer squash as well.
Yeah,
These
don't get the cheapo stuff they've got advertised on it because it's horrible.
Yeah, this is the for me #1. There's also Holbein, and I believe a lot of artists are using the jelly gouache. There's Himi jelly gouache. Now the problem
I use that a lot.
Yeah, so that was good, but it does dry up even though it's airtight. So I've ended up using it up for a lot of my backgrounds because it's relatively inexpensive. So I don't feel guilty about using a lot on the page.
Oh, by the way, should anybody be interested, I did do a whole blog on the subject of gouache, its history, what it does, why we use it, who uses it, different artists, and all the different, different makes, the testing done on the different makes. It's a very complete. So if you're interested in gouache, read my blog. Okay, it's on our website.
I'll put the link in.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just quickly to flick through, I've got a sketchbook tour. I did show my sketchbook at Google, but this is just some work. I'm trying to keep an eye on time. I want to get on with demonstrating, but just to show you the different ways that I have. I mean, I was quite traditional, and for anybody who likes drawing traditionally, that was me to begin with. And you can go through all, like David Hockney, you can try so many different things in this genre. So think about using your crayons on. This is keep old bits of paper, paint over them with acrylic, and you've got yourself a cheap sort of canvas to play with. This is actually, I want to show this because this is under here is another still life that I didn't like, and you can see it coming. I love when you paint over your old work because you can see the flower shapes underneath, and so there's layers. I love the fact with mixed media, you can layer and build up these textures, build in pattern. And yeah, my work is very different. And the other thing is sometimes we're not the best judge of our own work. Sometimes I won't like something, but I'll put it on Instagram, or a print company will be like, oh, I really like that piece. So this is a chance. And again, you can sometimes, if you've got time, go detailed. I did, as I say, start off with gouache in a very traditional sense, but having kids, if anyone's got kids, the kids made me, as soon as I stopped napping, I sort of sped up. I had to work quickly. So then you can I'm going to show you in a minute. I'll demonstrate how to loosen up with shapes. And also, if you're put on hold, when you're on the phone, doodle on a piece of paper, make up your patterns, because then you can use your patterns when you come back to your work. So this is drawing with the Neocolor crayon. So again, why I love Neocolor, the texture you can get. Oh, and another idea for you guys, if you've got strips of old collage, stick it together and then draw on top of the stuck bits. So you've got some, different, just wanted to show. My favorite, which I love, neons on a especially on a gloomy day. So I've painted, this is like Japanese neon background, watercolor. And then I drew, this is wax resist. So going back to our childhood of you just can play around with even Crayola crayons. Okay, so now guys, we're going to do a bit of drawing, and I'm going to get where did I put my, a few, I don't know where it all is. everything's in piles. So what we're going to do now is the first thing is let's play around with vessel shapes, because I think that's an easy entry point. And you can think about when you're drawing, so get out any paper you want, if you want coloured, white. Think about whether you want to do, you know, sort of a more traditional showing the ellipse, or play with it and just change the perspective, make it really flat, or even you could look down onto your subject. So you can already play around with, and I'll spread these out to give you ideas, but I'm going to show you now. Let's grab a piece of paper. Prepare different pieces. And what I'm going to use for inspiration that you can use too, because I was sharing a screen. So I've got this secondhand bookshops. This is the Asian Art Museum, and I've highlighted some pages. So what we can do, is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this, can everyone see? I'm going to have a go. Get my seat. Drawing, let's go for this phase. And I'm going to show you, we can use the tiniest crayons. So I've got a stub of a neon oil pastel. And we're just going to draw. And then we're going to draw it again, but I'm going to change up my material. So I've gone, I'm playing here, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. Let's have a go with this rainbow colour. And it's getting really wonky, but I'm doing the same thing. And you could then fill in. So it's just play. Let's just get drawing, and now I've gone for, I think this is a neo colour. And it's getting really wonky. And if I wanted to play even more, I don't have to keep, I mean, that's just for inspiration. I could add, I love always adding handles to things. And I love that red already on against the brown. So here are some vessels. That's a vase. Now, and yeah, I just wanted, these I prepared ahead of time just to show you how I work. Like, I just like to play around when bored with shapes, and you could keep these to cut out and use within further still life. But let's now move on to, okay, now I've got this, I don't know if you've got kids, origami paper. In COVID, during the pandemic, I ended up buying a lot of craft materials for the kids, and they're not interested in origami, so I'm going to use it now. So let's try and think about if you want to add collage to your pieces, we could think about cutting out some vessel shapes. Where's the market? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to wait. Okay. So that step, was it a stemmed cup? So that might make, so if you've got your paper now and you've got a pair of scissors handy, join in with me or just watch. But so sometimes I just like to cut out my favourite thing that I do a lot in still life is ramen bowls. I've got some really nice ramen bowls that I like because they're a lovely simple shape. So that could be one collaged item. I can go back and do. This is almost like getting, I guess this is inspired a bit, isn't it? It's Matisse. Lots of artists do this, the whole cutout thing, but
And
it's
then
just fun. I guess it's for inner child as well. So,
and yeah, his cutouts were of paper that had been painted with gouache.
oh yes, and that's true. So again, with your painted material, but with this, you can also then start to play about with colour, because already I can see against this is an old, under here is an old painting I didn't like. I think it was a portrait. I've painted over this piece of paper because it's good quality paper, but it would also be a good testing ground for some of looking at the colours. So you've got some material here, and I'm going to draw my. This is how I play. So sort of, I make all these different things, and then I'm going to assemble it. I need to keep an eye on the time, but afterwards I'll try and assemble it and show you how I build up a composition too. So okay, this is where I get ideas for inspiration for phases, or you can just have one in front of you. And for example, this one has featured heavily in my work. This is a gift from a friend, and now I've painted it so many times, I kind of like know it off by heart. So I play around with the colour and I add my own pattern to it. But we'll move on now to the flowers. We're going to practice loose flowers. So I'll put this book away. And leaf shapes, because it is a floral workshop, so let's concentrate on that. I found flowers I would, as I say, I paint from life. Sometimes I do set up my own still life if I've got time. I also use dried flowers as inspiration. I've got fake, someone left me this fake flowers are good because, but this I've drawn this so many times, I know the orchid shape. But for this workshop, oh, again, just do keep, if you like library sales, I love my local library. You can pick up, you know, reference books. And I like this one because it's black and white. I don't feel constrained to thinking about the correct colours. I'll use this book for the shape of flowers, for these desert flowers, as inspiration, but then it's left up to my imagination. I can be expressionistic in my use of colour. I found, and this is borrowed, but I found this great book from the library, and so I've been using it, and it's great for the demonstration because I can put it, hopefully you'll be able to see it and use it as well, but we can have a go at drawing, loosening up and drawing this flower shape. So this is a poppy, and I'm going to play around on this black piece of paper. Now, on black paper, we could use metallic markers, jelly rolls. Sometimes I have to, you just want to test out. In fact, I could use, let's use this crayon. So how I like to, this isn't a good book to use because it's not over detailed. It's not like a too detailed botanical drawing. So I'm just going to go in and start. I mean, you can start anywhere, play around with where you want to start. But I'm just looking at there's only a few petals really. Just here with this bit, I'm going to keep. I am looking at the page. Let's see. And I can go, I want to add, you know what, I want to liven it up a bit. Let's add some more light, because the light obviously against the black, this lighter oil pastel. So I'm not keeping to the colours. I'm just playing around. I really want this mustard. So you can get really into it. This is fairly, then add in the stalk. But I'm going to leave that one here because I also want to show you, let's go on to blank paper. A painting with a drawing with a brush. So for this is acrylic ink, and I've gone for one of my favorite neon colors. I'm going to use a small-ish brush. Let's start with a fine brush. So I'm going to do the same flower. But I feel like it's so different from drawing when I started, it took me time to get into it because at first I was like, oh my gosh, this is really, I want to go back to a pencil. But actually, I like the fact that I feel like I have less control when I'm drawing, as it were, with a brush. And there's sort of no going back. Well, there is going back. I can teach you how to. Everything sort of I've found is amendable. Like if you don't like something, you can just completely paint over it with acrylic or collage over it. But it gives you a chance to really like, I mean, it's not an accurate representation, but that's the whole point with loosening up. It doesn't have to be. So yeah, so you could use, I'm using acrylic ink, but if you have ink, a lot of the time I like to paint with, draw with ink as well, like just a bottle of ink. Okay, so let's change now my reference from here. So I've tried to mark out in this book, bluebells. Once you start, you can look for different forms of flowers you like and then bring them into your work as well. And where are let's use the neo color. What shall I use actually? Okay. Let's draw actually this is an Inktense block, but maybe you may have pastels or a sort of a crayon. So I'm really simplifying. You know what? I could actually, let me try not to look at the page now. Now it's here, you can see it. I'm going to try and draw it without looking, but I'm just going to try and draw from my memory of the page. But the point is, it's not going to be accurate because I don't know where exactly the little flowers are coming off. I'm kind of just making it up. And that's probably, is it? Sort of, but the great thing is you get to sometimes also simplify an image. So you choose what, you don't have to include all the different flowers if that doesn't work in your image or it's too busy. So you can play about with design. So here we have, yeah, and the fun thing here is I'm seeing if you overlay, what would happen if I overlay this crayon and add some more leaves in? So I can actually make this into a floral page actually. Now these blocks are water soluble too. And this is, so let's see if I bring in, what happens if so if you can use your Neo Color 2s or just even water soluble pencil. I have got pencils, but I'm not using those today because I feel that I'd have the tendency to tighten up if I draw with pencils. But here we go with the water. And let's use, and then I spoke about going back to sort of childhood or again, well, not childhood, Henry Moore. A lot of artists use wax resist in their artwork, but let's have a go at some wax resist on this page. And again, I'm going to switch up. Shall we do an orchid or was that going to be, let's have a go. So I've got a picture of an orchid in front of me. So I'm just going to draw it really. Well, I was very daring. I'd do blind contour here, but I'm not sure if I'd completely get it in the wrong position. And actually, I feel like I have made a. So I'm just doing this orchid because I really want to see what I'm adding some dots. So this is should be quite faint. So you won't see anything at the moment, which is it's going to be hopefully this will work. A magic reveal. But these are techniques that you can also use obviously in your sketchbook as well. And so now I want that, for that wax to come through, I want watercolor. And I'm going to use my Japanese watercolor. I have to say I love these because I very rarely, there isn't a mixing palette either. So a lot of the time I'm just using them, I'm just swishing. I have to go in pretty heavy. Swill it about. I don't know, is this going to work? So you can see the drawing. And I like that colour combination. I'll talk a little bit about colour as well and show you how I. So yeah, I think just trying to see that you can see. So this is all fun for me. I like how the different materials look against each other. That there's more. I guess I enjoy the interest in just playing and experimenting. And to be honest, this is kind of like off the cuff, and that is how I like to work as well with it. So yeah, so that is some more. Now, can I bring it all? What we can do, oh, also to show you, just keeping an eye on time because there's quite a lot I want to get through. We talked about colours, about pattern.
5 minutes or so, Sonia.
How long have I got?
I mean, what, you know, another 5 minutes is good. If you've got more to do, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Let's go through quickly.
And I hope everybody's playing along with Sonia.
I know I'm going quite quickly, but it's good that it's recorded. These are all things that you can also do more of. But yeah, to play around with. Pattern comes into my work quite heavily. So what I like to do, this is a pre-prepared sheet, is we can actually use this, is when I have a chance, like sometimes I'll use up old, if I've got a little bit of gouache left over and I don't want to waste my paints, especially Winsor and Newton, I will then prepare these sheets ahead of time. So now I have like sort of a tablecloth, a background for another piece. And what you can then do is use your work, for example, it has to be the right size, but just cut and stick on vessels. Not lost my scissors. So cut out one of your things. We'll try and discuss colour within this as well. So there's all a manner, again, you can look around your house for pattern. Here I always sort of gravitate to more curvy shape, but you can do zigzags, checkers, parquet, like parquet flooring, glue, I need glue. Okay, I'll try and finish up. So just a quick note. So what you could do is then also, if you've done small flowers, collage in flowers as well. But with regards to colour, I like sometimes, if I'm feeling very bold, a fun exercise is, oh gosh, I just dropped, is to close your eyes. So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to rummage around in my box of oil pastels, and I've taken a crayon. Oh gosh, it's probably the worst colour I could have. Okay. Okay, so sometimes it works, doesn't it? So, but let's start with you're going to force yourself. It's a limitation, because I think at the start was saying if you've got loads of materials around you, you're like, you can be overwhelmed. But force yourself to pick up something, close at random, and you're going to just draw. You're going to just draw a flower shape, and the more you practice, the more you loosen up. You start to learn certain flower motifs off by heart. They come into your work. So here we go. Now, what I want to show you in terms of colour is then when I have got my limit, I've got this colour here. Now, what am I going to place? What works with it? And you can, so I'm going to have a look. I'll put this flower book away. Looking at my desk. And I might just having a think. So you can put colours next to it. And I quite like, this is a combination. And I want to bring it together. I feel like it needs, but I probably do need to watch the phone. Like I want to, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to go to my favourite ramen bowl. I'm just gonna go over the top. And you know what? I quite like the fact that the pattern comes in. I like that transparency, but that's just me. So again, this is for you to play around with. What is your we've all got different taste. You know, so this is a chance for you to experiment and play and find what works for you and what doesn't. Sorry, would time remind me, Katie, with
Yeah, we're
time?
good for another few minutes. Yeah. Can you
Okay.
say something about go back to flower shapes maybe and just draw a few different flower shapes that you would like, just very general like outlines for people?
Yeah.
Would be quite nice. You know, just what are some that you go to and how you draw them a little
Yeah,
bit.
so let's draw some different, okay. I need oh, I will use a pencil for this.
Yeah, anything. Just because I mean I'm interested in that.
Like you could think about in general, break it down, tulip shapes. So I haven't got anything in front of me, but you can in your head imagine a tulip. So you've got that sort of a flower. And then you've got the beautiful like poppies. I love poppies. So I think there is something to be said for, again, Caroline, you guys have that fantastic course. A lot of this is I did learn to draw. I practiced drawing a lot traditionally. So I think once these are skills, they're all intermingled. It doesn't mean that you don't need to draw to practice your drawing skills.
Yeah.
Because once you do have those drawing skills, then it's easier to go off and loosen up, I think. So I do both.
Yeah, I think what the skill brings is the ability to sort of have a visual vocabulary, if you will.
Yes.
You can draw on your visual vocabulary because you know how something looks. So you've drawn it before, so now you can draw it again, but you don't have to necessarily have it in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I love drawing, like you can get all wonky.
Yeah, I love
like
that.
it's a chance to play around. You want to colour your shapes in. There are also a lot of you can find online on how to draw flower shapes, but I actually think to play around by yourself, like I don't want to look up.
Yeah, because you're going to get then you'll be able to kind of create your own style. And that's what we're always trying to do with everybody. Once we taught everyone their skill, is like, how do you tap into you? Like, what's your thing, right? So you've got to be inspired, but you also not want to, because it's hard, isn't it? Not to be like, oh, I want to copy that.
And you can use brush pens. So I'm going to try chrysanthemums.
You can kind of copy.
Oh, you can, of course. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying,
You know, artists do. You know, you can sort of start from somewhere and go, I like that.
Yeah,
so
and then
maybe
it kind of goes off.
start
Yeah, I mean, that's
thinking
what we all
about what might
Matisse
do, or
very loose chrysanthemum. I could obviously spend ages on it, but I'm going quickly. I feel if you want to loosen up, speed helps, as it were. I feel that's what I make.
Yes.
That shape.
What's that now?
Shoot. Yeah, I agree.
I've used the chrysanthemum in this picture, but it looks nothing like it because I've just drawn it really quickly.
Yeah.
but that's the fun, isn't it? Look, and then obviously irises, I love to draw. The iris shape is very. I'm gonna come in, let's keep it to the right colour. I haven't got any space on the sheet, so this overlap. Oh dear. Yeah, so you've got, so you can go, I find that what's a very easy one, if you want a really easy shape, I can show you. Whenever I'm stuck, I always seem to go back to, well, let me get what big paper. It's good to have, like, to practice. If you ever your doodle, have some like flower shapes that are just on hand in your head. I always like to do, this is a really simple one, like just four, I assume it's loosely based on a flower, but 4 petals that come together. And I do like this red on this pink as well, I have to say. And then I like to add, this is really loose. So you can see that's just really loose. And then I like to add, I think black. I always love black, red and pink. I got black. Oh my gosh, it's the tiniest stub. Just add like a few marks makes. And then I can see that if I had time, I'd probably extend that down, maybe add another one. And then add like maybe a vase like that. But if you, I mean, the funny thing is, the simpler I've kept my pieces, those have actually been the ones that have been really popular with print companies. The ones, it's funny, the ones I think, oh, that's a bit simple. But actually, a lot of time people, if you're thinking about wall art, what do you want on your wall? Sometimes you want just something simple.
Yeah, peaceful. And yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so sometimes it's about subtracting as well from your work, like not getting too, as it were, bogged down in. So you can add, let's just add it. Right, I'm just gonna do you quick. This is so wonky. But I think in the next session I'm gonna demo we'll be doing working from references. And then other flowers, let's think of another simple. What's another flower shape I go to a lot in my work? Let's have a quick look. I have marked. Oh gosh, this is actually okay. This is not simplified, but just to show you, if you've got time, then obviously I do believe like your course is great, Caroline and Katie. Like drawing traditionally does help. There's a lot of ways. I'll just flip through. But then but then you can really loosen up, and you can see here. This is a very this is based on these dried flowers. And I can show you how quickly. So I use these a lot. What if I overuse them in some sense? But basically, it's just a stalk. Then you come up and you just draw. If you guys wanna, if you want a quick, these are some really easy flower shapes. You can just, whenever you're a bit bored,
Yeah.
add in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, love it.
Love it.
And then you can make them come out. I mean, I'm just making this up, but it's based. I don't even know what these flowers are called. Does anybody know what these are?
I know the ones you mean. Yeah, what are they? Gosh, we're terrible on botanical names.
Don't ask us.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know, these are really great to
Carol
get.
knows things like that.
They're great because I've seen them, and you for about $5 at Trader Joe's or whatever, and then they
Yes.
dry, and then
They
you've
dry
got
out.
them.
Yes.
They're so good. These are
Yes.
years. I mean, they last for years dried, and they
love
make endless drawing inspiration.
Julie Haney says their status,
Oh yeah, of course, Julie's a landscape
Oh.
architect.
STATICE.
Okay, awesome.
So that's just another quick shape, and I can look for. And oh, the other great thing I forgot. This is something that's very I love in my I like to do now in my practice that I didn't used to have the confidence to do is drawing from a sketch. Don't know if people do this, but using your own work to, oh, here you can see.
Yeah. I do that all the time, by the way.
Yes,
One
I
of my
feel
favorite processes.
it's such a great way because, and you know, you doing every time you do a drawing from a sketch, it's slightly different, or you get looser, or you change the colours up.
Fabulous. Love
For
that.
example, I can show you. Look, this is from that fake orchid I've got in front of me.
Yeah.
Let's choose what's going to. Do you know what? I love an ochre. It's funny. I'm not a huge fan of browns, but an ochre yellowy ochre is always
Yeah, it's
gives me
gorgeous.
joy.
Did you know, I don't know if you knew this, Sonia, but one of our favorite, you and I both share a love of Bonnard.
Oh yes.
All his drawings, his paintings were done from drawings that he'd done. And then he'd go in his studio and close himself off from the actual object. And then he'd paint from his drawing and memory and add color. So it was a true, oh, I love that painting that you're doing there.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow. That makes sense. Do you know what? That's so.
amazing.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that about him. But I love. But yes, that definitely. I can see how creatively that just pushes. It makes you push beyond
Yes, the
initial.
initial like inspiration.
Yeah.
Almost like
So that you can see that this painting is coming out. So you can use, and that's the other thing. Like you don't even have to use one painting and keep drawing from one painting. If you like one element of your, like I do love this orchid shape comes up a lot. I can combine it in with maybe this phase into another piece. So your sketchbook can be for you an endless source of inspiration. Like here you can see this vase I paint again and again and again, but I get bored. I'm bored. I've done realistic paintings of it. I want to like move it on. This is also a very flower shape that comes up for me, and that is just, I can show you how to do that. I mean, it's literally, I forget that sometimes I think, oh, it's this. I mean, but it doesn't look much, but if you push this a bit more, you can draw this, but imagine it, you know, amongst other flowers. You've got the opportunity to add dots, checks. There's actually an orchid in that flower book, or not an orchid, there's a, you know, there's the flower and I don't know the name of it, but it is a checkered, I love it. My grandma used to talk about it and I can't remember the name. You know, I'm trying to do it from memory. It's like
orchid, isn't it?
it's got a checkered pattern.
oh, okay.
It's an
This
actual
is cheating.
flower.
Come
They're
on,
very
cheating.
rare. Where's that flower book?
We're gonna give you a
So
challenge.
you can add patterns to your flowers as well, but that does exist in real life. But I'll quickly show you. And yeah, vases. I love this is watercolor.
Yes.
Wet on Japanese watercolor. Just looking for some more flower shapes that I use a lot. Oh, I didn't realize when that David Hockney, he obviously there was a picture of
That type of
use that a
plant.
lot. Keeping it very basic. Maybe this is super basic, but I like the colours.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Sometimes I draw the same. This is the thing. You can draw the same. This is my house plant that I've managed to keep alive. It comes up in so many of my pieces, but I because I'm in control, I choose how many leaves I put on. I get to put, and I sort of like, you know, oh, I like that flower shape. That's actually quite similar, but so what you can then do, play around. See this color. I've always color combinations. I guess it's maybe complementary. I think you can find the ones that you like, what you gravitate to, and it's about mood. I feel like color is for me, I don't know if it's a bit sensitive, but it's about the mood on the day. Sometimes I want like dark, moody colors, like a dark inky blue makes me really excited, or I might go through literally my blue period. But other days I'm wanting, you know, light, delicate, gentle. So you can respond. I like the way that you get to respond to your feelings. It is an expressive form of art as well. Does that make sense?
Yep,
Are we?
sure does.
And then yeah, I want to use this. Another idea is also to experiment. This is actually, I've got some old eyeshadow that I don't cause probably a bit toxic to use in my eyes. So I mixed it up with gel medium. So you can
Yeah.
mix, think about playing around with
Texture.
other supplies, or you can make your own inks. I've not done it yet, but I bought a book on, apparently you can, I don't know if anyone else has done it, you can make your own ink, can't you, from coffee and
Yeah, so yeah, we do have someone in our network that does that. We could perhaps do a workshop on it.
Well, who's that?
You know, Patricia Lorenas.
Oh, yeah.
She makes a lot of her pigments and stuff, doesn't she, from nature?
Mm.
Yeah, I'd love to have Patricia on. She draws trees. She's actually got an exhibition I just saw coming up at Atherton, like the town hall. People that are
Oh, no.
interested. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're getting there for around. It's about 11:40,
right.
so we can, once you've done this last little bit, I think we'll be ready to do our
Yeah, is there any thing more that
questions.
you want me to demonstrate? So again, here I'm just thinking about using your materials that you have. So from that collage material, you can make a bowl, which could be stuck on, or you can even cut out your leaf shapes and then add them onto pieces. But that's, I know it looks a bit, I'm a little bit chaotic and messy, but that's kind of like how I, when I start to play or I want to make a piece of work, that's kind of like how I start. I'll just start loosening up. These are kind of like warming up exercises. But
Yes.
from that, I feel then I get really excited and then I want to, you know, then I get more into it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have
I
to
think
show,
that's-
obviously, I'll show a bit more finished piece in the next session. My desk's a mess.
Awesome. Okay. So I think, has anybody got any questions before we start?
We'll take a little break, I think, for people to get up, watch the clean
Yeah.
out the get set up.
Exactly.
Thing, you know, part of the presentation would be good.
Yeah, definitely. Have a little break now and we'll resume in about a few minutes. Get out your, if you want to use, if you haven't printed the images, if you want to print some images, or you can get out your flowers if you've got flowers available that you want to work from. I know Sonia sent us some lovely photos from her kitchen, which are great. That she uses.
Yeah, so hopefully if you either you've got your what you'd like to use in front of you, or yeah, I have said. So what I'm going to show is, because how long do we have for the next bit? It's like,
yeah, so we've got about 40 minutes, something like that.
okay. So maybe with that, obviously everyone's going to be getting on with their own work and can mute me, but I'm happy to take questions and talk because this is your time and I appreciate that. So what I'm going to try and do is I like to do several different pieces and I'll probably be looking, I'll try and show you how I would play around with choosing different elements from a still life in my sketchbook. And I don't know if people did, obviously I just painted this sheet of paper just to say is dry now. That just shows you how quickly you can prepare your backgrounds. And then I've got some pre-prepared backgrounds in this sketchbook as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's just knowing where to start, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
I find it difficult. Is that okay? And I think it's kind of like a genius thing, really, like preparing that background because it already gives you this little like framework, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's like a jumping. I feel like having these bits of paper is like a jumping off point. So you've
Yes.
already got something to respond to. You're not faced, as it were, with that sort of blank sheet of paper. It's like,
Exactly.
well, You know,
I love
it's
that.
I've got to do something. What am I going to do with this old? Or for example, I might use this was when things go wrong. The other great thing in sketchbooks, if something a page goes wrong, you can just paint over it. So under here is I don't know what's under here because I painted over it, but it's given me now I can start again, as it were.
Yeah, exactly.
And then play
On
with
it.
your collage. What does this is a bit big for it, but what's going to look good?
Just on your process and how you work as well. Do you like how long do you tend to work for? I'm just interested for my own practice.
So yeah, I do. As I say, I don't know if it's the kids that have made me like go really fast, but sometimes
Yeah.
my and I don't know if anyone else finds this, but sometimes my quicker sketches are better than if I spend an hour on something.
Yeah.
They've got more spontaneity, or I don't overwork them. So like it can be, I can do 10 minutes and get something done. Sometimes I think like the sweet spot is sort of like 20 to 30.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
depends on what sort of work, but then I do very different. Obviously, a painting, like an abstract, that's different. That's like hours. I will.
Yes.
But for
Doing
this
it
sort of
for a
this loose floral life, then I feel like 20 to 30 minutes is sort of like a. Sometimes if I go an hour, it gets a bit too. I can show you, like I go a bit
It's in
too
your head
crazy with it.
almost. Yeah.
This is my loose app. This sketchbook is for loose work.
Yeah.
I
love that.
But where there's one page where I just got in too much into the detail, and it's me here. I got spent a long time, but that's more just to have fun and play around with detail. But yeah, these are the quicker.
I love that. So have you done that? What have you done those lines with?
So this is like a black Posca pen. I think this is a black.
Uh-huh.
Is it a fine liner or an art pen? That is.
See, I love that. I love the way that you've drawn over that. That's really.
And then I don't know, those Posca pens. Sometimes they're a bit like it makes you. I deliberately made my lines wonky. Well, you can do that whole. I believe Maggie is it Hamlin? She talks about how she'll draw with her other hand. Like drawing with your other hand is a way
Definitely.
of completely.
Yeah. That's a really good exercise. Yeah.
To get really wonky if you. But all that's like abstract. The other thing I love to play with, and I did mark a page to show you.
Please.
I haven't actually done it so much in loose floral still life because this is my abstract sketchbook. But oh my gosh, I've got a box of tissue paper. Because you get tissue paper in gift wrap and in shoeboxes. Like I love how you can use it on top of other work. So if the work's too much, like it's too in my face, the colours, I can sort of mute it with the layering of the tissue paper.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I've got a box, so I can experiment that in the next process. But I've got so I now keep gift wrap, like little bits of. You got any fancy gift wrap? We can use that, and I'll show you how that might work in a still life.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this sort of work, I guess this is more. I don't know how some of the stuff won't be light far, so. But for sketchbooks it's great, and the other thing is if you've got people, if you're making, for me it's fine because a lot of my work, if I scan it in, it's going to be a print. Obviously if I was going to stick it on a wall, then I'd have to be a bit more careful about my material, especially because we get quite strong sunlight here.
Yes, you'd have to protect it, and use.
It depends what you're wanting to do with your work.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah, you do have to think about this, but this is more like play, isn't it?
Yeah, for play though, you're not gonna. You can go around.
Amazing. Okay, is everybody? I think everyone's managed to get their water and everything, and we can start on the.
Shall we just do a little bit of
Sure, share. Do you want to do a share
on screen, and then I know people have been experimenting, so let's have them show a couple of their experiments. Just a quick shift around, Can you go, Katie? Are you fast?
We can hold up.
Everyone just hold things up a little bit.
I love that, Neela. I can see Neela. Everyone put onto gallery. You won't be able to go around everybody.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, look at that, everybody. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I was a bit worried. I was like, I'm going to
Show
be
Anna's.
quick, and am I just jumping? Oh my gosh, you all did.
This
Oh, I
is
love it.
Anna's. These are Anna's.
That's amazing. Someone's you've got loads done in.
Gorgeous. Look at that. You
I've
guys.
got the names.
Practice. Amazing.
And I love that's coming really strong. I can see a lot of the colours and the
Gorgeous.
shapes.
Ah. Everyone enjoying
Whoa.
themselves? Thumbs
Oh
up.
gosh, is that neon?
Beautiful,
There's a lovely
Ishani. That's
neon.
gorgeous.
Shiny,
I
yeah,
got
that's a
3
gorgeous.
on the go.
Amazing, you guys.
Whoa.
Do you do that? Do you do more than one at a time, like go back and forth? That's what I'm doing. I've got 3 that
I do that, especially because sometimes I am with the
Gorgeous.
paint,
Well done.
like I'm impatient, so I don't want to wait for the paint to dry. So I'm like, well, I'll just
Exactly.
move on and do another
one
piece.
side and then let it dry and then go back to it. Plus, going back to it, you kind of go, oh, I think I see some things I want to do here.
Yes, yes, yeah. And then
Amazing.
sometimes I will even like put it aside and then come back to it the next day because
Yeah,
I feel I just want to sit with it, like, and but then also I'll make ones and sometimes I'm like, I don't, yeah, well, one day because I'm a bit about my emotions, like how I feel, I'm like, oh, I don't feel that one, but I'll come back to it and then the next time I might like it or I might hate it still and then I'll just paint over it. I do actually, I think I've shared this on YouTube if anybody's seen it, but like I have actually, I don't know, it might be, I don't know if people are limited on space, but because we've moved a lot over the years, like I've got lots and lots of sketchbooks, but sometimes this sketchbook is special to me now because I was thinking about getting rid of it. I didn't like what was in this book, but so what I did is, and I shared on YouTube, what I did, there were pages that I painted over. Some pages I've kept. There's some really original work, like these are quick sketches of my kids, but they're meaningful to me, so I've kept, and I quite like that. Some pages, but other pages I had no connection to, and I didn't want to get rid of the sort of throw away the sketchbook, so I just painted over it. And then this is how I actually got into mixed media more, because it made me play around with the pages, like sticking things in. I mean, the one thing to be careful of, and which I found out, was when you use acrylics, because they're very plasticky, you might have to, they do stick together. So either use matte medium or stick stick a bit of parchment paper or wax in. But yeah, I mean, so this is an old sketch. I used to be quite I was more traditional, but then I came in. I also, if you ever hate a sketchbook page and you've got work on paper but you want to file it, sometimes I just stick works on paper in so you can see. But I do. Oh, then I have my kids. I like to have my kids stuff.
I love it.
But yeah, and this is completely pared down, and under here is an old sketch I hated. So I like the fact now I know that I don't have to keep things that I don't like, and again, it's to my taste. Sometimes, it's a real. Here we use collage, so we're talking about collage.
Amazing. Okay.
Show you. But yeah, you've all done. It's amazing that you managed to. It's great.
They're getting it. It's good.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Everyone's getting it. Okay. So we're just going to create so that I can put music on, or we can, Sonia, you just chat away. Have you got the images there that you're going to be using, or?
Yes. Is everybody happy with?
I think sounds good. And some people will just be working from their own inspiration as well.
So I'm going to use a couple of mine and put them as well. And then I'm happy if anybody does have any questions, like I can answer them or talk about my process. Or if you want music or just silence.
Caroline, I think just what would people prefer?
I think people just like to work and watch
I think so.
I would rather have Sonia saying, you know, I'm going to do this, but you don't have to follow Sonia. But you can see she's got one of the images. So Sonia, why don't you show, and I don't know if you can, yeah, just show that's the background you've got. This is the image she's selected.
Yeah.
And that's what she's going to do. And you can do
Yeah.
what she's doing, or you can do your own thing. I'm doing my thing.
Cool.
You can do your thing. We'll all do our thing.
What have you got in the background there, Sonia? Is that just watercolor or?
So yeah, I'm going to use, I think on this is a watercolor using the Japanese the set that I showed you, and this is pre-painted and dried. So on top, I was just thinking now, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to use some gouache and maybe the Neo color. So if I can find where I put them. And oil, oh, I've got these oil pastels that are, I really love, yeah, neons and oil pastels. These, I think, Gallery brand are quite not too bad.
You know, one thing I find, and I don't know if you agree with me, but is that the first thing is just to get paint on this. Just, you know, don't think, just paint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't even think about what you're doing or where you're putting it. Just get it down there. And then it all works out in the end. And then you go back and then you sort of edit. And then what about you? Do you do that, or are you more?
So exactly. So that's what you with the sort of, you know, you've got the painted background, it's there. And then with this sort of a sketchbook page, this is a nice big sketchbook. I've got space, and with this, I might try and keep this one for myself, so I don't get too tight. Like to give myself 10 minutes. Also, I'm not going to set it, but I've got one of those like kitchen clocks as well that helps keep me to time. But and then I like to just get, as you say, get something down, like get a shape. A simple shape is often a better starting point, because it's like, well, I can't go back. And then but I can move around. I don't have to keep, I'm using this image, but I'm changing up where I'm putting the flowers a little bit. And I don't have to put there's about 5 stems or 6 stems, but I might only just keep it to like 3. I just work to what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to leave this composition where it's just added a few quick leaves. I think also, I don't know if it's things in threes. Sometimes I like 3. I don't know why. It's just personal. I like a composite, and I don't like things too symmetrical. Sometimes I just want 3 items. You can also do the limit thing where I think I saw in some of David Hockney's, where he's just using black and white, like just keep to 1 or 2 colours.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like by the time you put a number of colors down, you want to just, you know, your game is that you have to use those colors, but you can then play with the darks and the lights, and some things are darker and some things are lighter, and you know, I don't know. whatever. Take it easy. Don't get too serious.
Yeah, just play around and see what you get. And then you can use, I like also to play around if I want to loosen up, like just mark making. So that chrysanthemum, I'm just using dots. It's just a dot technique to try and illustrate there's some sort of flower there. But I'm going to try and really switch up my colours. I just like to try and push like I do also like to grab random tubes of paint, and that makes, if I give myself a time limit, like according, if I give myself 10 minutes on this, I've got to go quick. So I just grab colours and I don't have a choice.
Right.
Sometimes I actually like to put colours that I think will look hideous next to each other. Like the whole if you sort of think, oh, let's try and make a sort of an ugly bit of art. Like, what will happen if I use these two? And sometimes it's like, oh no, but other times I get a surprise, and I think, oh, actually, I like how they lie next to each other.
Yeah.
That's great.
Also, Pinterest. I like to use. Does anyone use Pinterest?
Yes.
It's terrible. Like, you have to be careful. You spend too long on these things. But Pinterest boards, like, you can save to Pinterest board. You can save images you like. So I think I made sort of I've got a ceramics board where if I see pottery like from the 70s or just interesting designs, like I really got into those house pot where you put your pot plants, but it's like a head. You could put pot plant on a head.
Put a pot plant on your head.
Yeah, but it's like oh my gosh, it's like I did draw it, but they're like in the shape of, they're ceramic heads. It's almost like Greek style, and then they've got a pot you can put your pot plant in, so it's like your spider plants coming out of a.
Love it.
probably put on a little bit of background music, Katie.
Sure.
Yeah, so I spent 10 minutes nearly on this one. So I think I'm gonna like, that's how I work.
Could you put it back just for a moment so I could see it?
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's like 10 minutes, but I feel, but now I'm gonna go, because I've pre-prepared, I like to then, that hasn't come out, I did put a pattern. I mean, I might come back to this another
Yeah,
day,
So
but
you might come back to it, but you wouldn't come back to it. You'd leave
Yeah.
it a bit, would
but
you?
sometimes I just quite like them to be just, I can in the past I've like got too fussy and then it's like where's mine? I really want to use this spread up.
Yeah.
So I can show now how I would, like as you saw, this was loosely based, but I can play with this again and totally change up the composition, like move where I put. So the same photo can be used to make quite an infinite, really, if you place your items in different places. And then you can play around with the perspective. For example, like in here, I've shown the bowl and you can see the items are placed in it and I've turned it all into lens. But now maybe, I always like, I don't know why there's something about just a straight. For me, I like to change up the view. The problem with oil pastels is I tend to, in sketchbooks, you do have to fix them, don't you? Or you should.
Yes.
Really. I'm
Yeah,
really
if
bad
you were
at
doing
that.
a final piece, then for sure.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think I use quite cheap. I don't have, these are all quite cheap oil pastels. So the Pentel ones are quite hard. So I haven't really
No,
bothered. I put a piece of old scrap paper
in
there.
between. Yeah.
Choose
enough time in the day.
Thank you, honey.
Carolyn's husband was just getting hungry.
ready. So we're left with about 12:25, Sonia.
Okay, so let's just share and let's have a look at a close-up of yours, Sonia.
So I've done, oh, when you say close up, do you want me to lift them up?
Yeah, gorgeous.
That's
Oh,
one. And
yes,
then
also-
I worked on, oh yeah, another tip is masking tape is like a good friend when you want to add
Oh, I like that.
very lines
That's
of
a great
that
idea.
one.
I
So
love
that's
it.
using the painted background that I started off the session with, just to show you can fit them in. And
Yeah.
then so I've used up this page. And this is with just to show like the tissue paper. I like, you can draw on top of the tissue paper with oil pastel.
Hmm.
And then this was obviously my first one.
Hmm.
Amazing.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
Okay, so let's have everybody a chance to go person by person and share. And then,
We've just got a couple of slides just to finish off, if that's okay.
yeah. You want to do that first, Katie?
Yeah, let's do the slides first and then we can just finish.
Then I think everybody will want to show their work.
Oh, of course. So stay around. We will be quick. We'll be quick. We'll be quick.
So it's such an inspirational class. I love that.
So thank you so much for joining us today. I know I've had a great time and we will share at the end, but also please do follow us. Please do follow Sonia. I think Donna's going to put into chat our social handles. We're trying to get better on social media, so please bear with us. Sonia is very good, so please follow her. You probably already are. And on Instagram, she's at Sonia Brittain Arts. That's correct, isn't it? Just want to make sure that I've put these in correct.
Yeah, no, that's a good. If you've got any questions or want to show me work, you can find
Yeah,
the DMs.
exactly.
DMs are quite handy because you can
Yes.
like communicate that way.
Yeah, exactly. I find DMs really good for the small amount of time that we do it. And also Sonia has a wonderful YouTube channel. And so do follow her on there. She has some great tutorials on there as well. So and then our Instagram is at the joy of drawing book underscore. Sorry, the joy of drawing underscore, I should say. So at the joy of drawing underscore. So follow us on there as well. And our YouTube is at the joy of drawing book. Because that's how we started. And we will be, Caroline is going to be posting a lot more artist interviews and all that kind of thing in the future. So look out for us on there as well. Yeah, and then Sonia just wanted to finish up with a couple of tips.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about our what we're doing this month. Do we
Yeah.
have a slide on
Yeah,
that?
we do. Yeah, at the end, yeah.
Oh yeah, so just basically I hope you can thank you for doing this. I hope you've enjoyed it. Basically you can paint flowers from your friends, special events, choose subjects or objects that have significance for you. Also take photos when you're out and about, you know, to museums, and you can use that in your work. So as you've seen, I like to combine imagery from books, photos, magazines. And yeah, basically it's just to have, you know, fun on your day. If you're not feeling 100%, it's a nice relaxing way of bringing some art into your day. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and then basically just if you've got any more questions, do come to me. But otherwise, basically make a lot of art. I love, as you can see, I like to make a lot of art because I think within the quantity, you might find that piece that you want to put up on your wall or send to a friend or make into a print. Work. I like to work fast. If you want to loosen up, that's if you want to loosen up. After this, you may be like, I want to get back to drawing, and just persevere. When I first started out, I actually threw away some sketchbooks and works I didn't like. It took me a while to to loosen up. It's, you know, I think it does take a bit of time, so keep going and just have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely.
Yeah, and the joy, like you guys, it's in the process. It's not necessarily the outcome, but I do feel that you get to make your own unique piece of art through doing this. And yeah, and also I put that book because we've talked about this, Katie, but that's one of my favorite. I actually do have a background in mental health in the UK, and I love that book. If you ever want a reason to go off and do some art, there's a whole host of benefits to, you know, stress and just your well-being through making a little bit of time for an art practice.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. It's a great book to get. Yeah, and then we just wanted to talk a little bit about the joy of drawing. You know, like Caroline said, it really is about turning up. Sonia's going to be popping in, I think, to one of the sessions. Do you want to talk, Caroline?
Yes, so we meet every Tuesday morning. We have an advanced group in the afternoon, but I'm inviting most people to the morning group. You don't have to have any, you know, advanced skills or anything. We're just, but what we're going to be doing the whole month is loose florals and still life, inspired by Sonia, and using different materials. And, you know, we never quite know what we're going to do each week, but we end up doing something pretty good. We definitely have been using gouache, so we'll continue to use it, but I want to definitely dive into mixed media inspired by Sonia here. And if you've never been to one of our classes, then you can come to the first class for free. You can try us out for free, right? What you use draw for joy, but it's actual numeral 4. Draw numeral 4. For free.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's right.
Yeah. So yes.
Put it into the chat now.
Yeah, so you can use that little QR code, or Donna will put the link in. And Sonia has kindly agreed to show up as much as we can have her show up. She's gonna jump in and help us and comment and do different things. We'll be inspired by different artists. And so yeah, some of the ones that Sonia talked about, so a few others, and generally we're just going to have a lot of we're going to loosen up for the whole month. Sometimes we get a little bit overly tight with our paintings and drawings and copying photos and and learning our skills. In order to learn a skill, you've all got enough skill right now, and we're just going to have fun. And one of the things I wanted to say as a final note is it is February, it is Valentine month, where we're thinking about people we love. I'm like, I don't know where I am. Yeah. About people that we love. And so why not, you know, every session we have, we draw some flowers, send it to friends, especially with your iPads. So feel free to come to any of our classes.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've got any questions, email us at the joy of drawing book at gmail.com.
Yeah, I want to especially thank Sonia for coming, because she is our first, you know, very, very happy, Sonia, to have you.
I hope that's all right. This is my first online workshop, so no,
Awesome.
thank you for having me.
That's awesome.
Thank you all of you.
Job. And I'm very inspired, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to having more workshops. The next visiting artist we have is in March. April. March is Perspective Month. That's with me, and our book that Katie and I did called Magic of Perspective. And it's not just doing boring old linear perspective either. And yeah, so let's let's share.
Let's share. I want to share, everybody. Okay, so everyone get ready. I'm gonna go round, if everyone can wait. I would like to go round everybody if possible. Is that okay? I'm gonna go round. Okay, so the first person I've got, Donna, did you do anything or were you busy?
No, I didn't get to do anything.
So if you want to share, unmute yourself and kind of hold up your work, and then I'll come to you. Let's do it that way. Wow, this is so cool. Actually, can everyone hold up their work? And I'm going to take a screenshot.
Beautiful.
Okay, let's go. I'm going to count to 5. Everyone keep holding, keep holding. Caroline's there.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, Peggy, I think you have do you have a background on, Peggy? Because I can't see.
Yes, let me try to, I don't know how to change it.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Hold it up near your face and it will show up.
Yeah,
near
put
your
it right in
face.
front of your face.
Come on.
Oh, Sherry, I love it.
Thank you. I want to move the vases around though.
Oh, okay. Let's come to you. Let's come to you. I want to go to everybody. If people have to leave, you leave. But I'm going to come to everyone because I want to
Just
see
to
everyone.
go from the first person on.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bonnie.
Bonnie,
Well
That's
done.
beautiful.
Joy,
Yes, what?
did you love it?
I loved it. And I did about 4, so I just am putting up 1.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Oh, we want to see all 4.
Keep going.
Very,
That's lovely. Is that
very
colour?
inspiring. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Bonnie. Next
Okay,
one.
thanks, Bonnie. Okay, next person I have is Robin.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
Robin.
God.
Wow.
Wow.
How did you do that?
amazing.
Is that collage? I love that bit. Is that painted? What is the ladybugs?
From my
I cut off a print from the iPad.
Oh, say
Great.
that again. You printed off some of your work from the iPad.
It was something that we did with patterning. I don't know when. So I
That's
just printed it.
awesome. That is so cool. I love
That's such a
that.
great idea as well. Yeah, you combining the iPad and printing
Really
out.
nice.
Thank you.
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, next person I have is Caroline Kasaka. Is that how I pronounce it?
Yes.
That's okay. Beautiful. Oh, put it right in front of your
Right
face.
next to your face.
Right in front.
Yes.
There we go.
Perfect.
That
Nice.
is
Gorgeous.
so lovely,
Lovely.
Caroline. Caroline, I'd love to have you come to our class. I hope you'll try us out for free.
Thank you very much. I may. I'll see
Okay.
when I have time.
I
Oh,
know.
we'd love to have you.
Well, anytime, anytime.
Oh,
Peggy.
look.
Oh,
Oh, there's
Okay,
Peggy.
Put it close to your
right
face.
back. Right,
Put it
literally
under your
touching
face.
Touching your face.
Move it back.
There.
well, I love all the
Lovely,
with the
Peggy. Oh, we love it. You got your little dog in there. Oh, that's so adorable. Oh my gosh, that dog is so cute.
Good job. I love it. I love everyone. How's everyone so expressive? Okay, next person I'm going to go is Shani. It's so nice to see you, Shani.
Hey, thank you for the workshop. I loved it.
Oh gosh.
Fabulous, Ashani.
Nice.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Wonderful. And I also
I
did
love
one
the colours.
with a
Oh,
little bit of
look.
calligraphy.
Oh, now
Little
you've got
one.
something to give your loved one for Valentine's
Yeah, I
Day.
know.
And Ashani, if you're ever free on a Tuesday morning, we'd love
I
to
know
see
she works.
Yes, I can't make it on work
Aw.
weekdays, but maybe on a weekend day.
Anytime weekend, we'll be back. We'll be more exciting stuff coming up. Yeah, in April we have oh sorry, Neela. Here we go. Hi Neela.
I don't have
Oh,
any.
That's cute.
I have no gouache and no watercolor, so I kind of did a. What can I do without that?
That's
Wow,
good.
I love the
Fabulous.
flowers.
And then
Fabulous.
I did another one, which was not. You
Oh,
can't
I
see
love
That's
it. No,
really
I love
great.
it.
the
I
vase.
love it. That's so
No, I
interesting.
love that. That is fabulous.
I love
That
the
is
flowers.
really beautiful. Bring those tomorrow.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna go and get some gouache and watercolor because I love that effect. I just don't have it yet. So
Yes.
I'll
Yeah,
see you
it gets
tomorrow morning.
addictive.
I'll see you tomorrow afternoon, Half Moon Bay.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Debbie. Hi Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Oh, you're on mute, darling.
Oh,
they
nice.
moved.
Ah, Deb, this is fantastic.
Deb, you're
Fabulous.
Hear
muted.
you. We can't hear you.
Wow.
It's okay.
Great.
That was
Now I-
fabulous.
I'm gonna go to Carolyn Shea. Hi, Carolyn.
Oh,
Are you able to share? You need to unmute yourself as well, darling.
where
I
is
know
she?
it's on the iPad, so can we see it? Ooh,
Maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, I
On the
love it.
iPad.
Oh God, that's gorgeous.
I love the pink.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
I
love the
wouldn't
way
be able to
you
do that, you see, on the
product.
iPad.
So we're going to do this same theme on our iPads. We're going to go crazy this month.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Oh, so we're going to end
Julie?
up.
Hi, Julie.
Oh, hi.
Good
Okay.
fantastic
I got 2.
Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Julie.
great.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
I
the
love the
yellow.
colours. Yeah, those are my favourite. The pink, it goes pops.
Oh, that and
That
love.
one.
Yeah.
oh, they're great, Julie.
So fun.
Oh,
Thank you so much
beautiful.
for the inspiration.
Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go to my sis. This is my sis, everyone. Oh, I love it. Look at
Snowdrop
that.
season
Great.
in the UK.
Snowdrops.
Such a
Great.
creative, but
First
that's
one, which you can see that I wasn't very brave with my colours, but I did some collage and stuff. But then the
love it.
second one, I just went a bit more crazy, so I put my block.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I put
Good,
in
yeah,
layers
great.
of stuff, which I really enjoyed. Thank you so much. So fun.
Beautiful. That's the good thing about doing several, because you like keep.
Yes, exactly. You keep
can get
going,
less
and that
timid.
is something. There's something to learn from it, isn't there? Like, you know, keep going and keep persevering. Hi, Candice.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Gorgeous. Oh, look.
Oh
my God, that's so
Gorgeous.
beautiful.
So fabulous. I
Candice,
love this one. I love the orchids. It's so pretty. Did you
Candice,
enjoy it?
Candice, were you in Foster City or Half Moon Bay, or were you Google? How do I know you?
I'm in Oakland. I moved from San Francisco 2 years ago, so I've been in the Bay Area for a while.
Oh, how did we meet you? You just on Caroline's list then? How did you find out about us?
I follow Sonia.
Candice, you and I need to get together. Sonia told me all about you.
No, that's another Courtney. That's
another
Courtney in
Candice.
San Francisco. This is Candice.
Oh, we need to get together. We love
Yeah.
your work.
I had so much fun. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay, and now I'm going to go to Sherry. Lovely Sherry.
Okay, I wanted to try everything she was talking about.
Wow.
Great, I'm gonna move these. Thank you.
I love the
I
different
love the
shades in the purple flower.
Contrast, the black as well against with the yellow.
You know, we're
Cute and all the
we're
babies.
so proud of Sherry because she started with us during COVID, and she's made such great progress. That's beautiful, honey. I love it.
It's about letting go, isn't it? And having a go at it. And then
It's
I'm
so
going to go
wonderful.
to Anne.
Well, I tried a collage, a little
wow.
collage deal.
Yes.
Beautiful. I like your theme.
And you just too much.
Pardon?
It's gorgeous.
I love
I
it.
like your squiffy bars though. It's like it's dancing. I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I did a 5-minute one. I tried to just go as fast as I could.
Wow.
This really suits your style, Anne. It's amazing.
Here's my last one. I don't love it, but I did that in the middle, sort of.
Oh, I like the
all
use
of
of
them.
pattern.
I like the pattern, yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
It
you
doesn't
can
do
collage.
it.
Maybe you can collage on top or something like she
Maybe
said.
I put collage a piece of white paper over the whole thing.
Yes, like you say, like what don't you like about it?
Katie, you have to show yours.
Oh, I haven't done much, but I'm gonna go to. I've still got a few more people. I'm gonna go to Laurie. Hi, Laurie. How are you?
Hey, Laurie.
Hello. First of all, Sonia is going to make me a hoarder because I'm not to throw anything away. So I had this old piece of paper that I hated, but now I know, save this part, cut it off, put it in a shoebox. I'm gonna have stuff in a shoebox.
Yeah, you can have shoebox.
When she taught us about like cutting stuff out, so I had this magazine with the brain.
Yeah.
Oh. That out, and I made the vase out of it.
Oh my God,
that's beautiful.
That is divine.
Wow. Great idea.
I really like that. I love the yellow actually.
So cool with that.
The yellow.
That's a killer. That's a killer.
That's a good idea. Magazines. Magazines was the source.
Yeah, I love that. And
Oh,
so
look, you know who's there? My darling, where is?
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna go to Monica. Did you want to share, Monica? Sorry. I'm just gonna put your face on. Oh, wow.
Oh my God, Monica.
Nice.
Oh, pull it up a bit so I can see the bottom. I love that.
Yeah, this is a collage. It's not my drawing.
That's
But
okay.
good, then I love this bit. This is great. The way that you put them together, though, it looks great.
Yeah,
I know. Thank you. That was great. It's my second job in my art experience. The first one was a Google. Thank you.
Hey, okay, we've inspired you. I love it. Keep going. Come and see us on Tuesdays.
Got
it. If I can.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sasha.
Look at my darling Karen Kokoska's been here.
Oh, I like it with the and the lettering. It's graphic.
Sasha, That's
Who is that?
impressive. For what time is it there? Like 10 p.m.?
I know we're keeping you up, you guys. This is beautiful.
It
Who
is.
is
Gorgeous.
it?
It's Sasha. Well done, Sasha.
Sasha, darling, it's absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
Oh my
Well
God.
done,
I
everybody.
love
Have I got
that.
everybody? Did I lose? Shout if I've missed you.
Carolyn Siegel.
Let
But
me
Carol,
find.
look
Oh,
at-
you know
and
what?
also
Because you're
Karen
underneath.
Foss has
Sorry
been
about
with
that,
us.
Carolyn. Oh,
Oh,
my God.
beautiful. That's so beautiful, girl.
Thank you.
Good.
Good
Amazing.
job.
What a fun class. Wow.
Well, that was so fun. Well done, everybody. I'm just going to go to Caroline. Did you want to show?
Yes.
Let's see, Caroline.
Nice.
Oh,
And
I
then,
love it.
and then I did this one.
Oh, I like that one.
I like the use of the white dots on both the green and black background.
Yeah.
Is that gouache? What did you? Is that?
What did you do, Caroline, on this one? Was that gouache?
This one's gold gouache, and it's got a little bit of, this is gouache on the back of one of my drawing pads. You know, like, I don't
Did
know.
you use watercolor to do the leaves and stuff?
It's all gouache.
Okay.
Wow.
And then this is gouache, and it's got some I don't know what it's got, everything, a little bit of everything. This
Oil
is
pastel. Yeah, nice.
What's the
Wow.
texture? Because then you get the
Gouache.
textures.
I don't know, whatever. I'm not happy with either of them, but I'll work on them till I like them. But
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love
like
that one.
I
really
do
like the
too.
sense of it.
This
I love
is
the purples.
And then one thing I think I sometimes I do is that, you know, I like part of it, I'll just crop it off, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Totally.
I forgot that.
Make a good square, you know. But these are just two things I had in front of me, so you know. But these I actually bought these little violets especially for the class because I knew I'd love to paint them.
They look
Aw,
great.
One of my
beautiful.
things. But oh my God, Katie, your turn.
Oh, I didn't really do anything, but I was just in my sketchbooks.
That is, what do you mean didn't do something?
Okay, let's Katie,
Wow.
I was
See
just,
again.
where are you?
Closer. Oh. Oh.
Okay, I'm highlighting you, Katie.
I highlighted her.
Oh.
Katie,
Aw.
that is
I started doing a background, but I haven't got there yet. I'm going to finish.
Oh, that's
Like,
great.
Cool.
like this.
Do
So,
some things on
I
top.
want to see that first one again
Oh, okay.
because it's
I love it.
gorgeous. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I
Yeah, I
love
love
the
the
use
flowers,
of the
the black on
textures
the-
in the green.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty.
I was working on textures, Sonia, so thank you for that. It's inspired me. Great.
What about your daughter? Did your daughter do any? Did Anna?
I don't know where she is. Hang on, she did a couple. Hang on, she's gone. That's it. It's too much for her. That amount of time. She did this one.
And then I
Oh,
did notice.
Did something else.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
Wow.
Bless her. So yeah, she's good. She's got to keep going. So well done, everybody. That
I've
was
got
so
lots of
fun.
ideas from you guys.
Yeah,
by now.
exactly.
I might be like
Exactly.
still like an
That's the
artist.
thing,
I might
isn't
be
it? We can
borrowing some
be
ideas.
Inspired. by
So
each
if you
other.
want more of the same, come visit me and Sonia on Tuesday morning. Sonia's going to definitely promise to pop in, which I love.
Check out our
And
calendar.
we're just going to do more of this on Tuesday mornings if if you're not working or, you've got a moment. And of course, we always record. And if you've never done a class with us, your first class is free. So just so you can try us out, okay?
Yeah, and any
Thank
questions,
you.
email us. So yeah, we'll see you soon. See you at some event soon. We're always around. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.